Okay, so let's see. I'm going to try this and see how it works. This is the Boel iTap. It's a counter pressure bottle filler. So I was provided this to take a look at. I built a little stand for it because I don't want to. I'll give you an example in a second, right? To show you why. So let me explain a little bit about it. So basically, I'm going to come grab you and take you and show you. That way you guys can see, right? There we go. That's better. So what we have here is the actual iTap setup is this part here. It's a plastic shank and plastic device, right? The little red button. Don't ever press the red button. Actually, you're supposed to press the red button. I'll explain after, right? This part here, which holds the bottle, and I will get a bottle here to show you, right? So you put that in there, and then you twist, and basically it pushes the bottle up underneath, and underneath there's a gasket, a rubber gasket that creates a seal, right? So what's this about? What's with all these hoses too, okay? So, well, this hose here, this one over here, right, attaches to the red button. That is CO2. Yeah, it's like a air horn, right? This hose here is a waste hose. So if you overfill, it'll go out and go down here through the waste hose and goes all the way down into a bucket I've got, right? This here is your beer line that is currently filled with Star San. Like, I cleaned out the bottles a little bit and tried it out with the Star San first just to make sure I knew what I was doing. Seems pretty easy. And I've got my capper, my handy dandy bench capper right beside it. And oh, let me get my caps. My caps. We're in the middle of doing renovations here, so it's a bit messy. And the bar is a bit tight. In here is my cream ale. I've got about, I think I've got about 10 liters in there. So more than enough to fill those. That's 3 liters there. So I'll fill all those up. I was going to do a comparison, but I don't want to do it with a cream ale. I'll do it maybe with the brown ale once that's ready. Do a comparison between, it's not in the garbage, okay, with the Blickman beer gun versus the Boel iTap bottle filler. So let's see how this goes. I've never done this before with beer, so this will be a first. Will be interesting. Oh, let me explain a little bit about this. Let me show you why I didn't want to install it. This is my setup, right? So there's my beers. And there's my setup there, right? So I'm not about to start drilling holes in here and trying to maneuver, right? I do have a, these are Intertap faucets. So I do have a ball lock spout that I could put on, and I could just leave the keg in the fridge, but I wanted to find out how much beer I had in there. So I took it out and weighed it on the scale. So I thought it just might be easier for now, right? But the next time I do it, I'll just leave it, I'll just switch it out, use the ball lock connector, right, for the iTap bottle filler, and connect it there, and just away we go. So, but for this demonstration, this is just how it's going to run. So I'm going to put you guys back up here, and a quick little 3-minute introduction. Let me make sure you guys can see, I hope. I think you guys can. So there you see, there you see my setup. There's my hand. Ha! So there you see my setup, and I'm going to step in front, and hopefully you guys can see what's going on. I'll try and stay, actually what I'll try and do is stay to the side here. Oh, I forgot to show you. Hold on, let me just show you this first, right? So, thanks to some of the handy dandy YouTube videos, right? The CO2 gas line, which is this one here, right? This one here, right? That little guy, right? Which comes in here, right? Whoops, there's my hand. Right, that's the CO2, right? The CO2 gas line goes down, obviously, to my CO2 tank, right? Now, you're probably wondering, how's it connected? Well, there you go. It's one of the, you know the carb caps you can get? There you go. Just attached with a worm clamp to 1/4-inch tubing and the ball lock there. Coming out of my little CO2 dual output from a single regulator there. So there you go. So that's the setup. And let's see how this goes. Woo! There we go. Maybe I can actually move you guys over a bit more. It doesn't make that much of a difference. Okay. There you go. So you can still see my hand? Yeah, good. All right, so let's see how this is going to run. I'm going to get the beer set up here. Hopefully I don't spray everywhere, so let's cross our fingers, right? Into the outpost. There it goes. Now, what I'm going to have to do is, because the line, actually what I should do is I should dump. Let me dump what's in there right now. Hold on, because right now it's got all star sand in there, and I don't want star sand in there, so give me a second. Because otherwise star sand is going to go into the bottle, and even though it doesn't taste like anything, I'd rather have beer than star sand, because whoever's getting the first pour, or the first beer, is going to get cheated out of the cream ale, and instead just get the star sand. So let's open this up a bit first, and dump it out. Let it drain into the bucket, and it's draining. That's the star sand into the bucket you're hearing, if you can hear it, and not somebody tinkling. Okay, just so you know. And there you go. And the reason I ran star sand through it, well, I want to sanitize everything, right? So let me just reattach this. Make sure it's good and solid. Yep. Okay, so now we'll attach it to the keg. There she goes. And she's ready. So, I have my caps over here. I hope you guys can see me still. I think you can, right? I have, let me see. I think, yeah, you can see me. Okay, good. So, the caps are over here and soaking in star sand, right? My handy dandy capper is here. I've got my cloth here to sop up any mess. Really what should happen, and this is something my wife told me, this setup I've created here, what should really happen is I should really varnish this or do something with it, because she says, you know, if the beer gets spilled on it, you're gonna have problems because it'll rot, blah, blah. So I said, yeah, no, I understand, right? But this is just an initial setup. Let's see what happens. So I've already run star sand through the bottle, so they're, you know, clean. They're not cold. They're just regular room temperature, right? The beer is cold. So you turn, and why I'm doing this is because you'll see there's some give here, right? Not just in the setup, but up here. This is plastic, so if you're not careful, it'll allow you to get some torque, but yeah, you can't over torque it, or else you're going to really mess something up. So I usually do like this and make it nice and tight seal, right? The instructions say, right, this little lever here, what this does is that allows the beer to start flowing, right? The instructions say to give it a shot of the, press the red button to turn on the CO2. Okay, so there's CO2 going in there, into the bottle, right? You don't hear it obviously, but trust me, there's CO2 there. So now what you do is you turn this lever down, right? And there goes the beer. It fills along the side, but then you can open this up to increase the flow rate. Right? So you can make it as fast or as slow as you want. And there is minimal foam. There's a small bit of foam that forms here, but it's minimal, right? And you fill up. Oh. Now it's starting to get foamy at the top, right? And you can keep going. Oh, I think that's it. Yeah, and then I'll put one more little jolt there. I turn this off, flip this up, turn this. I get my cap ready. Hold on. My cap is ready, right? I turn this. He says, whoop, nope, there's a little, psst. There's foam on top, cap on foam. Drop my handy dandy capper down. And I think that's it. Do a little bit of this. And here it is, cream ale. It's got about this much headspace, right? This cream ale is pretty carbonated already, so I'm not overly concerned, but I'll show you again, because that's one bottle. Let's sop that up a bit. Oh, see, there's stuff going on here, right? So my wife is correct. I'm sure she'll love to hear that, right? So let's do this again here. So probably what would be a good idea is, actually what I'll do is this. I'll leave that there for now, and I will get another handy dandy cloth, if you guys will give me just a second. It won't take me but 2 seconds as he scooches out from behind the bar. Where's another? There's another one around here somewhere, I know that. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Here we go. Got another one, right? So, maybe one day when we renovate, we'll renovate this bar. We'll keep the same. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So here we go. Again, put that in the thingy, right? Tighten it up. Right, shoot some CO2 in there, right, drop this down, and open this up just a little bit. And that, like I said, that'll change the flow. So you can see it's going fairly slow now. I can increase the flow a little bit, you know, and it's really, I can make it as gentle. Hopefully this will help in terms of like the amount of foam and headspace I had in the last one. That was the first bottle, so here's the second one, right? And you can see how it's filling up. Now the big test is going to be, is this going to help in my carbonation problems? Because that's what I've had problems with, right? So, okay, so here it comes. It's now filling up. I'm going to do that, do that. Maybe I'll give it a little bit more. Give me a second here. Oh, that's about right. That's good. Good stuff. And, oh, cap. I don't remember the cap, eh? So, again, there's foam. There's the bottle. There's the cap. And cap on foam. Cap on foam. Cap on foam, damn it. There we go. There we are. And that one's a bit better. Only about this much headspace now, right? So, and that's about it. So the next time I do this, I'm gonna test it with the Blickman air gun, sorry, beer gun, air gun, hello. I'll test it with the Blickman beer gun and see, you know, after about a week, which one's gonna hold the carbonation better, right? That's my hope with this. My other hope with this is for things like IPAs and highly hopped beers, which are mostly IPAs, right? Where you want that aroma and that flavor and that color to stay, is that this will be better than the beer gun, right? The beer gun is no slouch, but this thing here looks like it's fairly simple. Cleanup is going to be interesting, but I would just run, again, Star Sand through this, or they say actually all you do is just take it apart and wash it in hot water and rinse it in cold water, right? I would still run Star Sand. That's just me, right? But it looks like it's a pretty good tool. Other than having to build this, you could, if you have a keezer, you could literally just drop this into the keezer collar, and you can have this tap sitting there strictly for when you want a bottle fill, right? You know, I have this set up because I've got a tower tap, and that's the reason why. But I'm going to continue doing this, and so it's the Boel, B-O-E-L, or is it Boel? Anyway, it's iTap bottle filler, counter pressure bottle filler. So there you go. That's what this is about, and so far so good. I kind of like this. Okay, we'll see you guys later.